But one thing I know, talking for Kenyans in the diaspora, because we promised them as such, they're all looking forward to this possibility of dual citizenship. Let us not deny Kenyans who mean so well, who work so hard, and are such wonderful ambassadors of our country, wherever they are. I'm sure all of them are supporting this constitution, this draft constitution. And I want to urge that even as we get on as we get nearer to August the 4th, I still want to urge sobriety, that Kenyans are Kenyans. We must avoid the divisive approach we took in 2005 when we had the oranges and the bananas. I still remain an orange, even as I speak to you, thanks to that hard tackling referendum. This time round, I think it's important to appreciate that Kenyans have learned. What lessons have we learned? We don't want to brand each other, call each other names, be able to hard tackle each other, because we want a constitution that will be owned by every Kenyan, and more particularly even those unborn Kenyans who will come and say, yeah, we had forefathers who did well, because it should be a document that should stand the test of time. So I want to urge that we continue that way. We need to talk each other, not talking at each other, so that we can get this constitution. And believe you me, as I've said before, the moment we get this new document, I can see it's like opening the floodgates for investment in this country. Because I remember when I was sharing with President Wade of Senegal, and he asked me the different ages we have in this country, and I told him that over 65% of Kenyans are today aged below 30 years. He looked at me and said, that sounds like a time bomb. And indeed it can. If we do not grow this economy by way of double digits and create and open all avenues, so that as our young people leave colleges and universities, they have a future to look up to. And I think by stifling this effort, we are sending the wrong signals. That's why we need all to come together, get this new constitution, and open up this country. That is my earnest urge to all of us, so that we can all look at each other in the eye and say, we have done well. The challenges, of course, will always be there, but I think we need to be able to move to the next level. We cannot stay at the same level. And I get the sense the majority of Kenyans are saying, let's get this document. And as we get it, we also want to appreciate that every Kenyan has a right to say yes or no. And those of us who are saying yes should be able to carry everybody along. I think that has been my consistent message. Unfortunately, some of us have misunderstood, because I'm basically a dialogue person. When you say you want dialogue, you're not being indecisive. You're not sitting on the fence. You love this country to the extent where you wouldn't want it to come to blows again. That is a passion with which I view these issues. It cannot. You see, we say this is not a party issue. Please understand that it is not a party issue. Chairman Sam Pogisho made it clear that he was doing it as himself, Sam Pogisho, member for Kachaliba. But the ODM Kenya position has been well elaborated even by yours truly. And therefore, it cannot be seen like the party. The majority of ODM Kenya, of course, members of parliament, are in the yes camp. And will, of course, try to win over the others. We have a scheduled meeting this Thursday, yes, when of course we will sit and discuss it, just for the avoidance of doubt. But this is very clear. The heckling to which you refer, that is history. And I think some of us have been in this game long enough to know that we expect anything, but we must move on. I wouldn't want the heckling to be seen as influencing. I know a lot of people may have been upset by that episode, but we must move on, and we must not lose sight of the overall objective. And the overall objective is to get a new constitution, to really reform and open up this country the way some of us have actually been fighting. And so that's the way I want to look at it. Of course, I said before I left for Tehran that we will consult. Have not been on the ground long enough to do that. You've heard we will have party consultations. But, and of course, as it is obvious. It is obvious that we cannot all be at the same time, at the same place, between now and August the 4th. Some are traveling, some are here, and those who are here will be able to... I think we have a lot of leaders in the Yes camp who can actually cover this country. Not always together, but once or twice with His Excellency the President leading from the front, we can get together and move the process forward. I don't know what my other leader friends have in mind, but you heard Sodium Kenya. I've actually also said, if you look at it in terms of parties, and just look at what has happened in the UK between Clegg and the Prime Minister, yeah, they're actually saying what has happened in the UK. David Cameron and Clegg have caused an accidental revolution in the UK. And so when we fought ourselves here, it was completely unnecessary. And so I'm happy the world is beginning to see the wisdom of some of us. I'm very proud of the position my party took after 2007. And I know there are people who still may be feeling upset about that. But that is the way of democracy. That is the way of true reformers. When you're saying you're going in for coalition politics, you have to move, to persevere in that. And I think what Clegg's party has done is what ODM Kenya did in Kenya. But of course, circumstances were completely different. People took to fighting each other. And one thing I'm sure this new constitution will do is to ensure that never again, through legislation this time, will Kenyans ever fight each other because of election results.